Emma Hyman, the Posing Pro here, and today I want to talk to you about understanding the bikini criteria, which is specific to what I call the standard style of bikini posing. So this would be something in the UK that we would refer to as PCA, FITX, UKDFBA, NFMUK, UKUP, and all of the federations that fall under that same posing criteria. Now, in this style of posing, what the judges are really looking for, as they are in all other categories, is the X-frame. Now, what is the X-frame for the bikini category? The X-frame is that we want to see a really nice full figure. We want to see nice rounded cap delts. We don't want them to be too overpowering compared to the quads and also the lats. So we want to make sure that everything is nicely in balance. Now, obviously the bikini criteria is kind of it is your entry level into the females bodybuilding categories. So it's really the look where there's not too much muscle on the frame, where you may cross over into the figure category. And also the condition isn't as extreme as you would see in figure or any of those categories above that criteria. So throughout the rest of the frame, what we really want to see, as I've said already, are those nice rounded cap delts, a V taper into the waist. So if you imagine almost like an upside down triangle and then another triangle on the bottom, this is what we are looking for in this front pose. So I'll give you a little example. So we really want to make sure that we've got the feet just outside of the shoulders. We're grinding the heels down into the floor and rotating the quads. This switches on the hip flexors. So what we don't want to do is soften the legs and allow them to relax. And sometimes we don't want to, we never want to completely lock out the legs because we can lose shape from the quads. So we're always going to have a small tension in the knees. So we're going to push into the knees. We're going to arch through the lower back. We're going to lengthen through the torso and think about using the transverse abdominis to pull the midsection into the spine. We're arching through the lower back. We're then going to open up the lats. Now we're going to make sure when we flare the lats that we don't flare them by moving the arms first. If your arms are up here, it's a big no-no. A lot of federations really don't want to see the arms this high. It's very distracting when you're on stage, and also you completely lose the connection between the lat and the back of the tricep. So we want to make sure that we get a nice connection here as opposed to this, okay? So we're flaring the lats. We're lifting the chest up as well. We're making sure that the shoulders are externally rotated. So we never want to internally rotate the shoulders whilst trying to pull the lats out. We want to make sure we've got an external rotation here as much as possible. Now you can see through the frame that if you drew a line from this shoulder down to the opposite foot, you would get a nice diagonal line creating one side of the X. We're then going to do the same thing on the other side, so we have that nice balance and proportion, making sure that we have got that nice X-frame. Cross the top line, we've got the delts, we've got the lats, V taper into the waist. Now, the hand position, if you put a hand into the waist, we want to make sure it sits into the smallest part of the waist. So what we sometimes see on stage is a lot of this, and we want to make sure that it just sits into the smallest part of the waist. Now, for some of the federations, they will welcome some alternative front poses. One of the ones that is most popular at the moment is the power pose. Now, the power pose is something that was typically used